You're listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast on the air since 1981.
And now, here's your host.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Zev Brenner. Sometimes the talent surrounds us. We don't always pay attention to it because it's really near us. But Eli Lunzer, I know him for so many years. Know his father, Robert Lunzer, wonderful family, wonderful fixture in the Jewish world. But for the last 15 years, Eli Lunzer has been a sports promoter, has been a party planner. He's been going to Super Bowls, plus all kinds of events together. And so good to have you on the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Really nice to be here.
I know you're in a non-typical Jewish profession, sports management and doing sports events. So how did you get involved?
Yeah, it's a long story. We've done a lot over the last I would say decade and a half or so, building and growing the sports marketing agency that I oversee. And really, how did I get involved is it started off when I was a kid and just loved sports and knew that I was going to work in sports and entertainment in one capacity or another. Took a handful of different jobs over the course of my career and created, incredible relationships that have led to not only awesome opportunities on my personal and professional growth, but, fortunate enough to help many others that are looking to get involved in sports and entertainment as a whole.
Personal, the only other individual that I know from the West Side who moved to California, David Fisher, was a sports promoter. We just had him on the other day. But otherwise from that, it's not a typical Orthodox Jewish profession, you have to admit.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not typical. You see many Jews in the industry. You definitely don't see many Shomer Shabbos and kosher observing Jews in the industry, but there are more and more that are, popping up. Our community is growing, and like anything, if you have a passion for something, whether it's business or philanthropy or nonprofit, you got to just go ahead and do it. And you have to fight for what you enjoy doing and what you think is right. And then you have to do right, by working and showing up. And yeah, of course, there are definitely challenges that come along the road working in sports and entertainment, with a lot of the events happening over Shabbat, with going out and doing a lot of hospitality that is not necessarily, kosher, but it's what I do and I enjoy it, and I stand by what I believe.
So has that been your biggest challenge, the fact on Shabbos or non-kosher events, or have there been other challenges as well?
I wouldn't say it's my biggest challenge. It's definitely a huge challenge, and it's gotten a little bit easier over the last handful of years. In the beginning, it was a little bit more challenging. I think business in general is challenging. I think competition is challenging, and the work is challenging. But again, if you enjoy what you're doing and you do it well, and people find value in what you have to offer them and how to help them. And this is, a lot of what we do with pro athletes and with brands and sponsorship opportunities. The challenge is worth it.
So tell us about some of your success stories, because you've gotten in the last 15 years, and whether it's the Super Bowl or other events, you've been there. I think you went to 10 Super Bowls, right?
We've been to at least 10 Super Bowls, maybe one or two more.
So you've done some events surrounding Super Bowl and others. So let's look at what you've been doing.
Yeah, so we're actually coming right off of the Oscar Awards this past week, and that's a typical example of how we help brands get in front of athletes and celebrities at the award show. Surrounding the award shows as well, creating opportunities for brands to meet the talent. During Super Bowl week, we have numerous events, sometimes upwards of a dozen events in 1 week. Again, a variation of events that have to do with the athletes that we're working with, whether it's a meet and greet, it's an appearance, or some of the brands that are looking for major events to sponsor and align themselves with the Super Bowl festivities as they gather, year in and year out. We do the same thing during NBA All-Star, MLB All-Star, the ESPY Awards, which are coming up in the summer, as well as a host of other festivals and major events.
In addition to that, you went to MTA and you were involved in Jewish life. And I understand, in addition to be a matchmaker with sports individuals and legends and events, you also are a real matchmaker too.
I am. I would say I'm a partner. I'm a partner with the one above, and I'm a partner with all the folks that help me put together events and come up with ideas to match young Jews. I think by default, I love people, and doing and putting together events professionally led me to work with a lot of nonprofit organizations and young professional social groups. And it's nice when you get a call from somebody, you meet someone a couple years down the road, and they say, "Hey, I just want you to remember that we met at one of your events, and we have 5 kids right now, or 3 kids, or we're waiting to have more kids." So that's definitely a bonus.
Terrific. Now, you also see yourself as an ambassador because, as we've been saying, there aren't that many Orthodox Jews in sports management and representing and doing these kinds of events. So when people see you wearing a yarmulke, know that you're Orthodox, you're really an ambassador of Judaism too.
Yeah, and I take that very seriously, in everything that we do professionally and socially. It's interesting because a lot of the athletes themselves really understand Judaism when I explain it to them, and the parameters that we have, whether it's shutting my phone off for 25 hours, or we only have to go to kosher restaurants if we're going to eat for a meeting or an event. And if we're not going to a kosher restaurant, why am I only having a soda or a beer, etc. The interesting thing is that they get it. They get the regimen. They get the day-to-day aspect of, this is the way I live my life, and this is the way I enjoy living my life. The same way that they wake up every single day and work out at the same time, and have the same diet and meal plan that their coaches and trainers are giving them, and the same way they go to their training room to watch a video. So
It's more than that. What they tell about them when they saw you putting on tefillin.
Yeah, I mean, one time we had a couple guys in the room, and we were having a meeting, and I said, it's time for me to put on tefillin. It's the time's getting a little bit later in the day, and they said, "Hey, what is that?" I said, "This is part of our prayers. This is what I do to connect to God." And they're like, "Wow, I want some of that. I want some of that prayer and that holiness too." So I let them touch and feel it tefillin. Somebody put it on, and they felt great, and it was a good moment. But it's even better when you have Jews that are less, less experienced and less knowledgeable in the industry, and you can be an ambassador and a highlight, for them, and they appreciate it as well. I was on a business trip 2 weeks ago, and a guy that was staying in the same hotel, we were talking about, again, just regular life in Judaism and how I keep kosher and how I daven every single day. And I was able to put tefillin on him, and he hasn't done it since his bar mitzvah. And this is,
Wow.
An older gentleman that is, very, very established in the industry. And it was also nice, and he felt great about it. So it's really just, doing what you believe in. That's the bottom line, and doing it well and enjoying it.
Yashikoach, and you make it look easy, but I know it's not easy. So thank you for what you do. We have to have you back again, and listen, much continuous success.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to, and hope to see you soon.
Eli Lunzer, sports management hero, Meshatrin, here on the Talkline Network.
Thanks for listening.
For continuous Jewish programs, talklinenetwork.com, or our 24-hour-a-day listen line at 641-741-0389. For past shows, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Instagram, and all major podcast platforms, or jewishpodcast.org. Thanks for listening to the talklinenetwork.com.